Sunday service for August 16th, 2020. My name is Reverend Patty Becker, and I am the spiritual leader of Unity of Kent. Our worship assistant this morning is Lee O'Neill, and our musicians are Mariana and Janet, and they will now open our service with song.
Love, love, love.
Hi, you guys.
Unity of Kent. It's been a while.
I know.
Great to be with you here today.
Look into the mirror. What do you notice? What do you see? God's your expression, manifesting, holy and holy. I am pure and perfect. I am wonderful. I am love, love, love in the mind of God. I am blue and endless. I am beautiful. I am love, love, love in the mind of God. That's right. Look into the mirror. What do you notice? What do you see? God's full potential manifesting, holy and holy. I am pure and perfect. I am wonderful. I am love, love, love in the mind of God. I am free and endless. I am beautiful. I am love, love, love. I am love, love, love. I am love, love, love in the mind of God. In the mind of God. In the mind of God. I am the mind of
Thank you, and good morning again. I'm really glad you chosen to be with us this morning. And I really want to extend a wonderful, warm welcome to Narian and Janet. It's been a while since you've been with us on the service, and it's really great to have you back. Thanks for being here. Unity of Kent is an open and welcoming congregation, and we invite people of all races, creeds, colors, and lifestyles to be with us, to join us in our spiritual family. And as a spiritual family, really, together we're on a journey, and that journey is one of spiritual discovery. We promote a philosophy that is practical. That means that it can be applied to daily life, that it works. When we work it, it works for us. Our philosophy is based on core New Thought principles, as well as the teachings of Jesus. We believe in each person's spiritual authority, and we know that by applying spiritual principle to our lives, that we change our lives, that create a larger experience of our lives, one of fulfillment and peace, not only for ourselves, our families, and those we work with and live with, but for the world. When we're at peace, when we are at a higher vibration, that vibration goes out and influences everyone within the sphere of our influence. And that is a very powerful position. And so as we move more deeply into our service, I'd like to offer prayer. So right where you are, if you are in a position that is just totally comfortable for you, that's great. If you'd like to shift a little bit and to accommodate an opening an opening of heart, an opening of mind, a relaxation of body. Please do that now. I like to close my eyes since it minimizes distraction and allows me to tap into my interior core. And it is there where I encounter true relationship with God and Spirit. And so taking a deep breath, knowing that we have come together this morning not by accident, by divine appointment, we lean into this appointment with all of our hearts and all of our soul, realizing that where each of us is holy ground. That holy ground is not determined by the physical space in which we are living and moving and having being, but our sacred ground is where we are in mind. And in mind, we are squarely placing ourselves in the shimmering light, vibration, and brightness of spirit, recognizing one another's oneness with ourselves and our collective oneness with God. And in this oneness, we are at ease. We are in faith. We are at peace. And we are also in joyful expectation of what is ours today. For I know each one of us, through the medium of this service, will or is even now receiving something special for you, something individualized and particular to you and your circumstances, and that this something is your gift. And it may come by way of the music, by meditation, by the word, even within our announcements. There is no avenue that is not utilized by Spirit in our lives. And so we realize this, and in this realization are grateful and let go and let God be God in all things. And so it is. Amen.
We're going to do a song now called
The Human Mind. This is a line we took from Yogananda's book, The Autobiography. I thought this was... The human mind is a broadcasting machine. Everything you think of flows out in a stream. Thoughts can trap or set you free, so think of what you want to be. Human mind is a broadcasting machine. The human mind will give you a dream. Feel love each day and follow your dream. What you think is what you get. Your mind goes soaring off like a jet. Human mind will give you a dream. Ooh, gain the strength to rise above distraction by sipping at the nectar of your heart. Silently you glow with inner action, 'cause your mind makes true the things inside your heart. the masses that you choose to live in peace and happiness. Manifest serenity. Think of what you want to be, and only the good, like a wave, will come on in. Human mind is a broadcasting machine. Human mind is a broadcasting machine. Human mind will give you a dream. Give you a dream. Human mind is a broadcasting machine.
Broadcasting machine.
Human mind, broadcasting machine.
Oh,
Good morning. Thank you, Narian and Jana. It's nice to see you guys again.
Oh,
Thank you, everyone, for joining us live, Unity of Kent, either by Zoom or Facebook. It's good to see all of you. I know it's going to be hot today, so I hope you find a nice, cool place to enjoy the heat. So let's start with our statement of faith. It'll be on the screen. There is one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the good, omnipotence. I trust and align with that power of goodness now. So again, we'd like to remind you and invite you to join us on Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. with Reverend Patty for the silent prayer service. And then again, if you could join us for the Spirit Talk at 10 a.m., which always is a fun and informative discussion. And all of our events can be found on our website, unityofkent.org. So if you just go to the calendar, click on the events that you would like, the date and the event that you want to join in on, and the Zoom tab will pop up and bring you right into the meeting. So today our virtue is outstanding, and I'd like to salute the surrogate, the women that got us the vote. Today is the 100th day that women were allowed to vote. So I just want to say thank you to all those women that helped us get the right to vote. And so outstanding, someone who is outstanding exhibits exceptional characteristics. He or she is above the norm and demonstrates, I know I was going to stumble over the superlative qualities. Outstanding standards of expectations reflect an attitude that demands remarkable effort. To be outstanding is to be of terrific caliber and accomplishment. Of affirmations, I am outstanding, I am above average, I demonstrate superlative qualities, I am exceptional. And the daily word today is protected. I shine my light and feel protected. Feelings of fear that creep into my life may conjure childhood memories of scary nightmare images and noises. As a child, I have felt afraid of the dark or startled by an unfamiliar sound. But the morning sun always dispelled the darkness, and I realized there was never anything to fear. I keep that knowledge alive as I let the divine presence within dissolve the darkness of fear and shine the light of comfort and safety. Now, when any darkness descends in my life, I remember the protecting love, presence, and power of God expressing as me. As I attune more fully to my divine nature, light dawns within my consciousness, and I realize that God's protection is always mine. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Psalms 27:1. Stay protected by wearing a mask. Have a great day and enjoy the sunshine.
And now is the time in the service when we bring to mind prayers and we pray for one another. That's the beauty of being in a spiritual community, is that we can lean into one another's support, especially on a spiritual basis. If you have a prayer need right now, you can go ahead and submit it on chat. And then later they will be added to this month's prayer requests and sent to Silent Unity at the end of the month for additional prayer. If you would like personal prayer after the service, once again, I have created a chat room, or not a chat room, but at least a Zoom meeting that you're welcome to come to that will begin at 11 o'clock. Eric has the link to it, and that will be displayed in chat too, I believe. For now, together, if you have a prayer request, I would invite you to hold it in your mind or in your heart. And I would invite you to hold that request not from a perspective of lack, but from a perspective of fulfillment. That whatever you find to be a challenge in your life right now, or in the lives of your loved ones, to see it not as a deficit, but as an opportunity to move more steadily and more completely into faith. There is one presence and one power in our lives. It is the same presence and power active throughout the universe. We call this presence and power by many names. And today I call this presence and power God. God is the absolute core and reality of each one's life. That our lives are lives of spirit. Spirit expressing in physical form. And so aligning our realization of our spiritual oneness, of our inherited kinship with the energy and power of God. It is ours not to ask, but to affirm. And we do affirm. We affirm absolute good in our lives. We affirm absolute good and unfolding blessing in the lives of our loved ones. We see one another as beings of light and love, of vibrant life, beings of unlimited potential. And we give ourselves to that potential within us, knowing that there is no obstacle for the good that we receive. There is no limit. And it is ours to joyfully accept this truth as our lives, the truth of spiritual wholeness in whatever area needs to be reminded. And so with absolute faith, let us let go of want and instead embrace fulfillment. Embrace truth for ourselves and our loved ones. And when we do so, a peace of mind settles that cannot be disturbed. And we move to joy. And we sing gratitude. And so it is. Amen.
Is it time for meditation? Frost sparkles on the ground, crystals shiny with dew. Seeing for the first time, I lift my eyes, I see you with new eyes. Rain saturates the ground. I'm filled with joy when I'm with you. Filled with joy when I'm being for the first time. Feels so good to be alive. New eyes. New eyes. It's a dream I fought to imagine. Letting go of the old, living together in a new world, chasing and embracing, vision is clear. Seeds sprout from the ground. Seeds sprout from the ground. A new world emerging around us. There is love to guide us. My vision is clear. My vision is clear. New eyes. New eyes. I'm seeing with a new
Thank you again. Well, it's good to see you all, and I can see you, and so that's very nice. I hope that as we approach the end of summer, that you can look back and say that it's been a good summer. It certainly has been an unprecedented one, with a lot of our usual summer activities canceled, and living out holidays and family gatherings in a very different way. But in the way that you have created and been creative in this time of pandemic, uh, I am knowing and I'm hoping that it has been fulfilling for you at whatever level that you've been able to engage with others and yourself and circumstances. During the talk this morning, I'm going to offer a little bit of an exercise. So what I'd like you to do is to have handy a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen. It doesn't have to be a big one, but just to have something that you can make a note on. Today I'll be talking about the 3 phases of mind. Since the beginning of the year, I have been paying very particular attention to having talks about our metaphysics, our unity metaphysics, the metaphysics of new thought in general, of which unity is aligned with, that it has proven over time and practice to be a very effective means for enhancing and changing and enriching our lives. And that's what all of us really want, isn't it? All of us want to live meaningful lives. We want lives that are rich and fulfilling, and we want our lives to have purpose. We want the whole of our lives to matter, and for the experience of living to be one of joy. And so we embark on a number of ways in our lives to create that joy. In the pursuit of happiness, the majority of us have looked to supply that happiness from the material world, thinking that things or our material lives can provide happiness. Being physical creatures, we have looked to the physical world to provide our satisfaction. No matter what physical need or challenge we encounter, our first solution is to go to the material world. And I find that with myself in my own life. When I'm encountered with a challenge or with a situation that is painful or that I would like to change, right away I go to what can I do to fix it? How can I change this? What are my options? And that's what our culture teaches us, and we've learned that lesson well. We're taught that we can acquire, fix, force, take, earn, build, adjust, manipulate, or attract whatever we want and need to fulfill ourselves, to make us happy, to satisfy our longings. And in the satisfaction of our longings, thinking that that is where we find meaning. Well, that's all well and good. And to a certain degree, it's true. If we were just physical, but we're not, we're spiritual. And we know that we are spiritual because no matter how physically satisfied we are, there is a deep inner core that continues to long, that continues to be restless, and that continues to search. The aim of, as far as I'm concerned, of all spirituality is to shift the focus of finding joy and fulfillment from exterior pursuits to internal awareness and realization. And that's what our philosophy is all about. Being mindful and aware of where we place our attention, where we direct our focus. It isn't necessarily, spirituality isn't necessarily the aim of religion. although spirituality is an integral part of religion. The realization of fulfillment within spirituality can happen for people whether they are part of a religious structure or not. That spirituality recognizes our true needs as spiritual beings and seeks to satisfy them. When our spiritual longings are met, we are truly at peace. We are truly fulfilled. The real trouble is that humans often try to satisfy spiritual desires through spiritual means, and that's not always successful. And in truth, it can't really be done. There might be temporary satisfaction, but not lasting happiness. And it often requires, whatever happiness we have attained, requires a lot of work to maintain and sustain. And in truth, whatever level we have reached in material happiness, it is very often supplanted by something else, by a new desire that is wanting to be satisfied. Conventional worldly wisdom says that the flow of happiness is from the outside in, while spiritual wisdom says that the flow of happiness and fulfillment is from the inside out. And so here comes the exercise. So if you have a piece of paper, and I would just invite you on that paper to write a very, one or two items, maybe three, of what you really want for yourselves in your lives. What is important for you to attain? What is it that you strive for? What is your true inner desire in your life? And having jotted those down, how do you try to achieve that? Whatever it is. How have you tried to achieve that in your physical life in the world? And I'm wondering how successful you've been. And some of the things that I jotted down as an example of common things that people want in their lives. They want to be loved, and they want to receive love. They want to give and receive love. People want security. People want prosperity, peace of mind, and health. And so our common tact to achieving those things, to love and to be loved, we seek relationship. We nurture relationship. To fulfill our longing for security, we may, want a lot of money. We may want a secure job. To secure peace of mind, we seek for assurances. And in the pursuit of health, we seek treatment, and we do things that traditional or conventional medicine says that will support our health and longevity. But what is the spiritual solution to these problems or these challenges? How do we achieve our wants, our needs, our desires from the viewpoint of spirituality? And the answer to that, and the main theme of this talk, is through consciousness. And that's what Unity teach, that it is our consciousness, it is our mind, it is the thoughts we think, the beliefs that we hold, the feelings that we maintain, that create our lived experience, our physical experience. Unity also teaches that all that we want and need and desire is already ours. It is already ours in potential. That it is already ours in our spiritual reality. That whatever it is that we want and need is already poised to become manifest as our physical reality. And so questions that arise, or the primary question that arises is, so where is it? So where is the appearance of my desire? How is that fulfilled? And the key to manifestation is mind. It's not solutions outside of mind, but it is mind. New Thought philosophy, belief, teaching, theology, whatever you want to call it, state that there is one presence and one power in the universe and in our lives. It further states that that presence and power is God, and that God is absolute good. Another name for God that we use is mind, divine mind. And each one of us is an individualized expression of divine mind. That as God is pure consciousness, we are consciousness individualized in the one mind. Our individual experience of divine mind seems to include both the collective consciousness as well as our own individual consciousness. Mind is made up of three phases, Unity teaches: conscious, subconscious, and the superconscious. And all three of these work together as vital components in the outpicturing or in the manifestation of our physical experience that we call our lives. Understanding the influence each one of these phases of mind has is essential to the degree that we realize happiness and fulfillment at the deepest level possible. And what is that level? Well, Unity teaches that level is Christ consciousness. It is the consciousness that Jesus expressed. It is the consciousness from which he lived. It is the consciousness from which he performed so-called miracles. It is the consciousness from which he taught. What Jesus expressed in his consciousness is the goal of our spiritual life and practice. Consciousness from the New Thought point of view means more than conscious awareness. It includes these three phases. It includes the experience within spirit, soul, and body. And although the collective consciousness or race consciousness is an influence, the unfolding of our consciousness is individual, that we are responsible for the content of our consciousness, for the unfolding of our consciousness and the transformation of our consciousness. Within the phase of conscious mind, that mind that is aware is the awareness of our internal thinking and our perceptions of the world around us. It's what we take in, it's what we see, what we relate to. Conscious mind is the part of our mind from which we function rationally. The conscious mind consists solely of our current perceptions, opinions, thoughts, beliefs, and ideas, and may be about the present, past, or the future, so it includes all of those. The conscious mind is not absolute, it's relative, it shifts and it changes. We have new thoughts, and so our mind changes. We have new experiences, and so our perceptions change. It is from here, the conscious mind, that we make decisions and choices, such as whether or not to tailgate the person who just cut us off in traffic, or to go for a walk, or to visit a friend, or how to handle a crisis. Conscious mind is our most active phase in our daily lives. When we are not mindfully conscious, I'm sure all of us have experienced the consequences of that. And I just call it being plain unconscious. And this is when we do things like lose our keys, misplace important papers, or have no idea of how we got from one place to another. In conscious mind, though, we are completely aware. In conscious mind, we choose where to focus our attention, we choose our behaviors, and we choose where, and we make decisions as to where our attention will be aligned. The phase of mind called subconscious is our sponge. So this is the second aspect, the second phase of mind. So the subconscious absorbs and holds all of our memories, all of our past thoughts and feelings. The subconscious stores whatever we are holding in mind at any given time. It kind of takes a snapshot and it files it away. Subconscious mind, in and of itself, has no ability to discern truth from error. It doesn't evaluate. It just holds. It doesn't judge. It just remembers. However, it does have influence on our conscious thoughts and actions, and it's the subconscious mind that drives our habits. And so how is that brought about? Well, all of us determine how we will respond to life situations and circumstances. When they come up, we respond. We choose how we want to interact with them. Repeated reactions to specific situations impress upon the subconscious mind and then can give rise to patterns and habits. If that's how we did it 1, 2, 3, 5 times, that's how we responded, then we tend to continue behaving in that way. And then habits are formed. And some of those habits can be very beneficial to us, and some of those habits not so much. We can change undesirable habits through self-observation and reflection. By becoming aware of how these patterns manifest and by discovering the beliefs and the thoughts and the feelings behind the patterns that we've established, we can transform them. And our conscious mind helps in this transformation process. Some of the most effective transformation tools that Unity has and teaches are in prayer. And these tools are denials and affirmations. Denials disempower error beliefs, thoughts, and feelings, and affirmations claim truth rooted in oneness. The third phase of mind that I want to talk about this morning is the superconscious mind. And this is the phase of mind in which we realize the divine ideas in divine mind. And once again, divine ideas are the 12 powers. They are the ideas that have been ideated, that has created the universe as well as ourselves. This phase of mind is the I am. The superconscious mind can inform both the conscious and the subconscious minds. The conscious mind can access the superconscious mind for guidance and direction. In other words, our conscious mind can turn to divine guidance, can turn to the silence within, can turn to the core of our spiritual beingness for guidance and direction. And the primary ways that we do that is through prayer and meditation. Prayer and meditation, taking time to be in the silence, accesses the superconscious and infuses the subconscious mind with divine ideas. So there's this wonderful flow of energy between the phases of mind. There's the conscious mind that is aware of our thinking, aware of our processes. There's the subconscious mind that holds everything that we've ever experienced in our lives, that remembers and is the storehouse of our experience. And then there's the overlay of superconscious mind. That is the development and the aspect of spiritual growth in which we become aware of who and what we really are. And it is the flow of these phases in our lives. It is the flow of these thought patterns that ultimately brings forth in our lives the things that are rich in meaning and in fulfillment. The superconscious acts upon the subconscious, bringing to the awareness of conscious mind the thoughts, feelings, and beliefs held in error. Then conscious mind decides where to focus attention, error or truth. And by treating error with denials and affirmation, error is transformed, which in turn creates a new manifestation. That new manifestation is the shift of circumstances and situations in our lives. Myrtle Fillmore spoke about this process and the importance of the conscious mind, of the subconscious mind, in terms of healing in her writings, Healing Letters. One of the things that blocks manifestation in our lives, or that seems to stall what we want and what we desire, are things that are held in the subconscious mind. Things from long ago that said you weren't enough, that you can't, that you have to work for what you get, that life has to be hard, that there's a struggle, that you need to be punished, that you're not good enough. And these are absolute errors in thought and feeling and belief. The truth is that all of us are divine expressions of the absolute good, divine mind. And that the purpose of consciousness is to be aware, is to look, to be willing to look to what is being held in the subconscious through our experiences of angst in our daily lives, of having our buttons pushed, of having feelings of not enoughness, and to have the presence of mind to look at where's the source of that. Why do I think I'm not enough? What experiences have I had in my past or continuing to give me these messages? And if we are getting habitual messages of anything other than oneness and perfection, then there is something in consciousness, in the subconscious, most likely, that is blocking that. By the ability to access the subconscious through prayer and meditation, we become aware of what does cause limits. And then we can make decisions through our consciousness and our attention and our decisions by the act of our will, by the activity of our free will, to choose something different and to pursue that. So now I'd like to have us go into meditation. Just make a shift now from listening and thinking to being. To close your eyes. To be grateful and aware of the elegance of our beingness. To open ourselves and our awareness up to the flow of our mental activities, of our consciousness. And so let's take a deep breath into this space behind our eyelids, into this this field of divinity, where there are no limitations, where there are just invitations. No limitations, but invitations to the highest and best experience we can have. And that when we change our minds, when we change our thinking, when we adjust our feelings and beliefs, that in changing and transforming internally has a very positive and beneficial effect externally, that our lives change. And so right now, within this field of spiritual being, know that you are enough, that I am enough. That for whatever we want to experience in our lives does not require seeking and finding. It requires accepting what is already given. And so right now in the silence, in this prayer time, let's open our hearts to accept our good, not to seek our good or to pray for our good, but to accept our good as already being fulfilled, which it is. All that we want, all that we desire is already given. And for the next few moments, allow yourself to receive. Allow yourself to accept. There's one presence and one power active in the universe, active in our lives, active in all circumstances and situations of our lives, activated in the lives of our loved ones. God, absolute good, omnipotence. And in the field of absolute good, there is nothing wanting. There is no desire that is beyond fulfillment. There is no situation beyond transformation. And we embrace that now. We embrace it for ourselves. And we embrace it for all those we love. And so it is. Amen.
Swaha. Om Tara, to Tara, to Ray, 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 Swaha. You are the blessing, Mother of mercy. You are the energy. You are the blessing, Mother of mercy. You are the energy. You are the blessing. You are the blessing. You are the blessing. You are the blessing.
I am the blessing.
We are the blessing.
Thank you. Thank you again so much. The music this morning has been so right on. So I'm very appreciative. We are very powerful beings, you and I. And the bulk of our power is either misused or misdirected. Our greatest power lies within our minds. Our minds create our lives and is the key to our joy and to our fulfillment. Years ago, I remember seeing a commercial on television regarding higher education, and it said one of the bylines, I guess, was a mind is a terrible thing to waste, and that came up for me over and over again as I was preparing for this morning. So use your minds. I'll use mine, and we'll all be mindful. Well, now's the time in our service where we share our love offerings. That can be done very easily and quickly on our webpage through PayPal or Givelify, or your offering can be mailed in. When we give easily, when we give freely, when we give joyfully, that energy is duplicated in the universe and returned, not only fulfilled, but expanded. And our affirmation will be posted right there now. And if you say that with me, divine love, expressing as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. So thank you once again for joining us, and we'll close our service now with the peace song, and also a reminder that if you would like personal prayer after service, I will be at another Zoom meeting, and the address will be up again. So, Marianne and Janet.
Love you. Peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Now peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Now there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with you.
Thank you again for the great music. I wish each of you a most blessed and wonderful day. And I'd like to end the service now with a prayer of protection. And this is the expanded version by James Dillett Freeman. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. The mind of God guides us. The life of God flows through us. The power of God abides in us, and the joy of God uplifts us. The strength of God renews us. The beauty of God inspires us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a very good day, and I will see you maybe this week on the Silent Unity Prayer Service or next Sunday. So blessings and thank you.